What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 22. We have an interesting one for you guys today. It's going to be time to hit the offseason, but first and foremost, we have to recap how the new additions to the squad have done to this point, and we have to recap some stat leaders and things of that nature. We have some players that are doing really well on the team as we round out the year. We are currently sitting at 81 and 79 with 2 games left remaining against the Cardinals. So if we do win one of 2 there, we will come out as the number 2 seed in the NL Central. Now, that's not going to be good enough to put us in place for a wild card position. We still stand 7 games back of the Diamondbacks and then the Padres ahead of them. So we are not in contention for a wild card, though we are in contention for a winning season, which is absolutely fantastic. Nonetheless, though, let's go ahead and take a look at the players that we called up. Quinn Priester has gotten some minor action so far. He has looked like he can be serviceable at the major league level, but I'm thinking at the start of next season, he's probably going to still need some more time in the minor leagues. He had a 1-2 record, 23 innings pitched, and a 5.01 ERA, which, not absolutely terrible. He can work with that, and he needs to continue to work with it. Really, he needs to get his walk numbers down and things of that nature. But it was good to see a little bit of action with him and what he can do at the major league level. What I'm more concerned about, actually, though, is the extremely positive performance we got out of Mason Martin. Mason Martin had a 316 average in his time up here, his limited time, 38 at-bats. He did hit 2 home runs already in that limited amount of time. So he is ready. He showed that he can handle big league ball. He showed that he's ready for next season. He will be our starting first baseman for next year, and he will certainly be played into the mix. And then the other player that we had discussed was Travis Swaggerty as well, who had a little bit even more limited time than Mason Martin did. He had 26 at-bats. He did hit a home run. He did have a 308 average, so he also showed that he can handle the big leagues now at this point, and we will be looking to utilize him as we push into next season. So that's all stuff that we want to keep track of as we go through the offseason and get primed and ready for a season where we really want to compete. However, the next thing that we have to talk about is league leaders, because Bryan Reynolds is a player that has been up here for league leading stats for the past month or so. He is going to finish about second in batting average. He was up there at number 1 for a while. He was batting like 345. He slumped a little bit at the end of this month, but nonetheless, he's going to finish second in batting average. He's going to finish first in batting WAR with a 10 WAR, which is absolutely insane, which means that he is like by far and away like the best player in the league right now, at least in the NL. When we look at the AL, Mike Trout finished at 9.2, so that gives you an idea of how good Bryan Reynolds played for us this year. I also want to talk about hits. He finished second in hits, or he'll finish second in hits. In terms of at-bats, he's actually pretty low on that list. He did finish first in doubles, unless something changes in the last 2 games of the season. He did finish first in triples as well. He's currently tied. This could change. And home runs, he finished third. He was actually leading the home run category for a while there until Austin Riley and Hunter Renfroe kind of took off a little bit. But 39 home runs is absolutely crazy for a guy like Bryan Reynolds, and I love to see that. He had top numbers and RBIs, and the stat categories just go on. We're talking about second in runs scored, third in base on balls, second in on-base percentage, and first in slugging percentage, first in OBPS. I mean, he had a crazy season. And then we move on to our pitching statistics, where Mitch Keller is actually tied for the lead with 19 wins on the season. He played huge for us this year. So whenever we modify our roster at the end of the year and we try to make things more realistic, Mitch Keller is going to get a bump up, and he's probably going to get a potential. That is something worth considering. Mitch Keller only had 4 losses on the season. Crazy good record there, and I really don't don't think we had anybody else that had any major stat categories here. You can see Mitch Keller did finish top 8 in ERA, things of that nature. So 2 really good performers there that are going to lead our rebuild here into the future and going to head up our contending season here in year 2. And it looks like Bryan Reynolds is going to win the NL MVP, which is to be expected for a guy with a 327 average, 39 home runs, 128 RBIs, basically leading in every single category you could imagine. He's just playing fantastic. The Cy Young looks like it might go to Mitch Keller. It could be split here, but he's currently really on top, and that's, you know, partially credit to us developing him at the beginning of the season and playing games with him, but I pretty much just let him do his thing beyond that. And, you know, I would say probably 12, 13 of those wins were his in simulation style stuff and us player locking other players. He just played fantastic, and he's still only a 78 overall, which is absolutely insane that he was able to have a performance that good this year. So he certainly deserves it if they do decide to give that to him. The batting title will not be won by Bryan Reynolds, but that is to be expected. Rookie of the Year is actually going to go between 2 Pirates players here. Oneil Cruz at the top of the category hit 34 home runs for us this season. As I said, his power really started to come along. He looks like he's going to be a building block for us, and Johan Mieses, who we traded for, also got himself onto the NL Rookie of the Year list here, which is fantastic to see. And then it looks like right now Bryan Reynolds is going to win the Hank Aaron Award, which I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. I don't know exactly how it's considered. It says the award is given to the top hitter in each league, so I guess that's a combination between his batting average, his home run, and his RBIs, where he is kind of averaging out to be the best because he is so far superior in RBIs here. He is lower in batting average, though, and he's not probably going to lead in home runs. It is interesting, though, but Bryan Reynolds may take home a couple of awards for us this year. It is worth noting that Ke'Bryan Hayes finished second, or is going to finish second, in the NL Gold Glove race. Nolan Arenado taking that one. That one's pretty clear, all things considered. He had a 1,000 fielding percentage, or 100% fielding percentage, I should say. Ke'Bryan Hayes came in at 996, but I expect him to potentially finish first in this category in future years because of how good he is, how good he's become to this point. It's also worth noting that Oneil Cruz is finishing second for the Silver Slugger Award at shortstop behind Fernando Tatis Jr. and just ahead of Trey Turner. So that's good company to keep, and that says a lot about where he's going to end up as a player within this league, at least for us in our franchise. And I really like to see how well some of these players' careers are coming together now. Bryan Reynolds is set to win the Silver Slugger Outfield Award, which, you know, that's pretty much a given considering the other awards that he is potentially taking home as well. And you know what? I was going to go ahead and simulate through those last 2 games, and it gave us a situation to save this game with David Bednar. So we have 2 runs scored. St. Louis has 1 run scored. We're up 2-1 in the bottom of the 10th. We might as well go in here and try to get this win, try to pull this one out before we head to the off season and start making moves. This is a nice quick little scenario that we can get done for you guys, and hopefully we can close this out, get this win, and lock up the second seed in the NL Central. I would love to see that from this team. So let's go ahead, let's try to get this one with David Bednar. This would be a really fantastic way to finish this season off. Ooh, that one was a strike. Not liking the call there. Hung that one over the middle, dangerous pitch. It's still a 1-2 count. Let's see if we can't get him with the curveball. He is swinging at everything, so we do have to be careful with our pitch placement. I'm going to go splitter inside. Hopefully we can get him swinging at that. Right over to first base, and that'll be the first out of this little scenario. So next up, Nolan Arenado, potentially the toughest one that we're going to have to face in this situation. That fastball didn't quite go where I wanted it to. We're trying to aim for the corner. There's a good one. Now we're going to try to see if we can't get him with the breaking stuff. We're going to go curveball pretty much in the dirt. Nope, we left that one up. It is hit right to Sano, though. So that'll be 2 outs. Oh, no. So it brought us in with 2 outs, so I was mistaken. That's going to get us out of the game with a 2-1 final. We will get that win, and we will push for that second seed in the division. We're going to lock that up. So that's a fantastic finish for this team on the season. We do have one more game to go on the calendar, but that's 2 wins right there against St. Louis. I mean, we could certainly lose this game and finish 82-80. I'm going to try to go in and definitely win this game for us, but man, what a season it's been. We're finishing with at least 82 wins. I'll see you guys in a moment. And actually, before we head to the offseason, there's 2 things that I need to recap you guys on, and 2 things that we're actually going to have to go through as we advance here, and that is we did win this game 11-6, so we do finish with a final record of 83-79. However, what I need to update you guys on is our AAA and AA teams. So the AAA Indians actually finished with the #1 record in their division. The AA Altoona Curve finished second in their division. So when we take a look at the calendar, they're both in the playoffs right now. The Indianapolis team is actually 1-1 in this playoff series, so they are doing pretty well. They did pretty well on the season, and same thing, 1-1 now for the Altoona Curve as well. So both teams have actually won their first series in the playoffs here, which is huge. That just speaks to how well our farm system has done so far this year. I'm going to go ahead and just simulate live because they both have a series that ends on October 12th of this year, so I might as well just go ahead and simulate through that date and see if either of those teams really gets anything done. AAA have won the championship series. We'll take on the Dodgers or the Aces in the AAA National Championship, so that's huge. So the Indians must have swept, and the AA team has won as well. So they swept 3 games in a row, and yeah, both teams swept 3 games in a row. That's absolutely nuts. And I didn't know that this was how this works, but it's a 1-game thing. The Indians our AAA Indians just won the national championship in an individual game. So I guess that's the end of the season. And it seems like our AA team and our AAA team won the national championship for both leagues. I don't really know how all that works. That's not one of the areas that I'm that familiar with. But there's nothing else left on the calendar here. I mean, there's nothing else for any of these teams. So it seems like we finished on the highest possible note we could have, considering, you know, how good of a season the AAA and AA teams had for us. And I figure I might as well show you guys real quick that the Phillies actually defeated the Tigers in the 2022 World Series. So one of the probably most unlikely World Series matchups that we could have possibly seen. The Tigers somehow make it all the way to the World Series, and that's I don't know, that one's just really interesting. So we're going to advance to the postseason, and we'll get working on the roster. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and interject the conclusion to this video right here. And this I'm recording after the fact, so I apologize that I'm on the budget screen, but I have to be on this screen so I don't reveal anything else too soon. But what I want to say is this video is being cut up into 2, at the very least, videos because there was so much content here in the end of the season and the off season that I had to split up into a couple of videos, and I wanted to make sure that I did it right for you guys and covered everything that I needed to cover. So I worked very diligently, and this might be the most work that I'm putting into any video so far this year. So I really hope that you guys will leave a like down below, leave a comment as well, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Please, please, please leave all that feedback down below and let me know that all these efforts are worth it. Like I said, I'm going to divide this video up, so you'll be getting another part to this video probably on the same day, to be honest with you, because I'm editing them all together. So you guys will probably get a good bit of content here just divided up into more than one video for those reasons. And like I said, hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave all that feedback down below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys have a good one.